Okay, how are you, everyone? How are you today? My name is Praise Forward, and I'm super excited to be coming your way this evening. If you're in Africa or in Nigeria, and this is known in North America, wherever you're joining me from, I want to say thank you very much for always saying true with me and staying with me. Now, there's something on my mind I want to share today. And someone had asked me because I asked people to ask me different questions, and someone reached out asking about a mother-in-law. That the mother-in-law has been very wicked. That was the word that was used, and she was asking me, "Praise, what can I do?" Now, I'm not going to stay long on this because I can teach on in-laws and outlaws for a long time. So I'm not going to spend so much time on this because there are fundamentals you need to understand when it comes to in-law management, and there is what you need to do. So the first thing you need to understand about your mother-in-law, because I know I met ladies who are praying that their mother-in-law should die. And I always say to them that by the time your own child is about to marry, if you praise that prayer, I hope you don't fall dead. Now, the first thing you need to understand is if you have a difficult mother-in-law, she's not wicked. Now, why did I say she's not wicked? Somehow, a whole lot of women have a history with their sons or with their children, in fact, parents generally, depending on if the child was an only child, if the child was a favorite child, it depends on the history. And if you have a mother whose esteem is compromised or whose esteem is wired around the identity of a son, depending on what you went through to raise that boy, somehow when it comes to marital decision, they feel a sense of obligation that they have a right to actually dictate or to have a say in who that child marries. You need to understand that. Now, if you don't understand this, it's going to be very tough for you to relate with your mother in law and to see her from an expanded awareness perspective. You're just going to see her from the shallow prism, which will not do you well and will not do her well. Now, so let me paint a scenario. Take, for instance, a woman who it has taken about maybe 20 years to have a child. Finally gets a child. She sold everything to ensure that that child gets the best of education. And now the child is about to get married. The first fear is, where is this woman going to come from? Is this woman going to be able to take care of me? Is this woman going to like me? She also has that insecurity that you have. Never forget, is an only child, and the esteem of the woman is wired around that child. She has a bit of control. He listens. So by the time the child gets married, there's going to be a bit of a conflict, which ideally should have been better managed by the son. But oftentimes, a lot of people don't know how to handle this. And in the confusion, you have a wife who says, "You've got to choose between me and your mother." I think that's one of the most stupid, pardon me, question that anyone can ask. For you ask someone to choose between you and his mother. Of course, it's a tough choice. He's not going to choose any at the end of the day because you are boxing him up. It's like someone saying, "Choose between me and your father." Now, if you have a good history with your father, if you are a good father, you realize that that question is uncalled for. Now, so you need to understand that every mother, not every, some of the mothers at that level feels that they have a say in who their child gets married to. Now, so they have someone in their mind, maybe they've even promised a friend that my son and your daughter going to get married. Then you upset the equation. Now, by upsetting the equation, you already set yourself up for a war. And it's a war that is winnable if you're smart and you're strategic. To come in and expect her to accept you that way is a tall order. If you have that kind of mother-in-law, to God be the glory. But oftentimes people are not that lucky. However, it's going to take you some time to deliver superior service delivery, which is going to come by wisdom, right? So I'll tell you what you need to do if you are in that situation. See, wisdom sometimes look like stupidity. It looks like people are riding you because sometimes if you listen to social media commentators, they will tell you right and wrong, this is what you need to do. No. In strategy, when it comes to marital crisis, we do it on case-by-case analysis because I need to first understand who your mother-in-law is. I need to do a personality check on her and analysis before I create what looks like a strategy that can help you win. There is always a way to win. See, you don't have to always go to war and go on social media and fight, dirty, or confront. Confrontation is the lowest level of warfare, right? And it never ever ends well in many cases. So, what do you need to do? There is the acronym I deploy, which has never failed, is the acronym PRAISE, right? PRAISE. Now, the first thing you want to do, now knowing fully well that you're dealing with someone who doesn't respect you, who doesn't want you, who doesn't want to accept you, is to praise your mother-in-law. Now you're asking me praise. What has she done? She doesn't deserve any praise. You know what? Praise her. She doesn't have to do anything. The fact that she sustained the pregnancy of your husband or your wife, I mean, depending, because it can be both ways, praise her. Right? Praise her for being a mother, a good mother. Praise her for being a mother-in-law. Praise her for what she does right. She doesn't have to respond to you or acknowledge your praise. You keep giving that praise, because praise is a seed. It comes back to you in good measure, pressed down, shaken, and running over. Now, R is the next alphabet. Now, R says readily respond respectfully to our intention. Readily respond respectfully to our intention. Now, what that means is you need to figure out what our intentions are. There are needs in her life that she's not even communicating to you. So you have to find someone who is close to her who can help you figure out what her needs are. Everyone has got a Momo button. You must be willing to press it. Now, so that's our intention, not even a need. Our needs, of course, you need to take care of that. But our intention, what is laying in the mind? So you have to figure that out. Now, A, acknowledge your input and impact even when there is none. So, if ever say, oh, your husband is doing, oh, let me thank my mother-in-law. She's been so fantastic. You know why you're doing that? If you speak otherwise, somebody will carry it to her. There are so many people around you that you call friends who may not be friends, who may be working for or snitching on you. So you need to acknowledge your input and impact even when you think there is none. Of course, if you look critically, you will find one or two. S, solve a problem with speed and with smile. What the main says, prioritize. C, superior service delivery can help you win with anyone. So prioritize our needs. So solve a problem with speed and with smile, right? So before she says it, make sure it's delivered if it's within your capacity. When it's not within your capacity, apologize, but prioritize it as soon as you can do it, right? So I've done PRA. Okay, I didn't do I. Okay, I is interview her. What it means is everybody feels vulnerable when they think they are writing you or they think they have something to teach you. So what do you need to do? Go meet and ask her to teach you something. Ask her to teach her the favorite soup of your husband. Ask her to teach you something new. I'll say, oh, mom, I love your soup. Can you teach me? Can I support you? And things like that, you know? So you do that. Interview her, because she will feel that, oh, she's doing a lot well, and you're learning. Tell her that, I mean, she's living your dream. You want to be like her. Let her be your mentor. Right. So else is solve a problem with speed and smart, and E, exceed our expectation or exceed our imagination. She's going to expect you to fight back because she's been, in quote, rude to you. She's going to expect you to be rude back. You don't do that because you will reap what you sow, not necessarily where you sow it. Right. So disappoint the calculation. Right? Because once you're rude, then she has something to hold on to that she can flag before her son, knowing fully well that she has an emotional connection with the son. Right? So don't fall for that. Right? So praise your mother-in-law, readily respond respectfully to her intention, acknowledge her input and impact when there is none. I, interview her. S, solve a problem with speed and smart. And E, exceed our expectation. Right? So that is what you need to do. If you practice this, you can win. Now, what must you not do? Okay, so you must not disrespect her no matter what happens. You must not seek to create a deal breaker and say to you, our son, choose between me and your mother. No, don't do that. If you follow the acronym PRAISE, trust me, you can win. Now, if you have any other question you want me to answer, please slide into my inbox and ask. I'll do a video and I'll respond to your question. See, your mother-in-law is a fantastic woman. She may have been through a whole lot of crisis, and maybe a preference for a son, you upset that calculation. So she's human. You need to understand that if you were in a shoe, maybe you would do likewise, exactly the way she's behaving, but you need to take it a bit higher. Michelle Obama said, when should they go lower? We've got to go higher. You don't go lower with them. Now, this will require a whole lot of emotional intelligence, a whole lot of awareness, a whole lot of serenity, but it is doable. I have coached people to achieve this, and many people have achieved this. By the way, if you're listening to this and you're in North America, come Sunday evening, I get into class with a couple of parents, and I'm going to be sharing with them new scripts of scripting a successful child. It's a new script that we need to master, we need to understand, because the future is a bit dynamic and it's totally different from where we are right now. I hope you have paid for that class. I am praiseforward.com/US slash coach parents, right? That's the link. You can go there and pay. Now, a few people ask me, oh, can we pay twice something? Yes, you can go there. You will see how you can pay twice. You slightly pay something slightly higher, but I mean, there's a payment plan if you want that. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today, both my Instagram audience and my YouTube audience and my Facebook audience. I hope you've learned something. Please drop your comments. Let's hear how this has helped you, and let me know what you think about it. And if you disagree, please go ahead and make that happen as well. See, we can always build bridges instead of digging dungeons. We can always win with the right strategy. Have a fantastic evening in Africa, and have a fantastic day in North America, because this is still noon. And if you're joining from Asia, I don't know where time zone that would be right now, what type time of the day you are, but I love you all. I celebrate you. I'll see you again. Once I have a new question, I'll do another video and we'll put that out there. Thank you. I hope you've learned something. Please drop your comments. Don't forget, and share this with as many people as possible. Let people learn. You can always win in your relationship. My name is Praise. You know, I help you create an incredible family life with the best templates ever created in this universe, but very, very relevant when humanity migrates to Mars. Hi, honor you. Bye-bye. Oh, right. And broadcast.